back. Here, Asian J again, once again here to join us. Very excited. This is more up his alley. Again, I was very excited for this. We just finished seeing Zack Snyder's cut Justice League. The Justice League Zack Snyder's cut.
4 hours.
4 fucking hours long. We just watched it.
Yes.
You persevered. You gathered the troops. You said, let's watch this. I've been determined all day to watch this, and we fucking did it. I'm very glad we did do it. Now, again, I would say I'm maybe an above average viewer, because I think you have your casuals, your average viewers, whatever, your above average viewers, and then we have your nerds,
the hardcore comic book nerds.
Comic book nerds, and I would say you're under that category.
Yeah.
Yes, you and Shortness herself.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's just not in here right now. But now, right off the bat, I'll let you know this.
Okay.
Today, when I knew it was coming out, when I knew we were going to watch it, I just typed in Zack Snyder's cut. And right away, people were saying, "Oh, it sucked ass," blah blah blah. I was like, But then I heard people saying it's a masterpiece. But okay, this is awesome. Now I get to I'm very excited to see it for myself.
It really depends on who you ask.
100%. And before I get into it, I want to know initially, after just watching it right now, we're about 20 minutes after watching it, right?
20 minutes.
Roughly. How do you feel about the movie? What did you think about it?
I loved it.
Oh my
I loved
goodness,
it.
Right into it.
Yes,
right into it. Don't sugarcoat it at all.
I love the crap out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously nothing is perfect, but just like if you have seen the original Justice League version and then you went and see this one, blows it out of the water. Light years.
That I'll definitely agree with.
Yes.
100% agree. I feel like the first one, definitely now, especially you talking about it,
It doesn't
about, I want to say 70% super watered down.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Very watered down.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they actually let that go.
You know what? Like, big suit needs to make the money.
Okay.
I'm just gonna put it right there.
Yeah, and dig deep more into that, because we were talking about that, and then of course you're not going to talk about DC movies without the damn M word.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Fucking M word.
I mean, it started. Yeah,
Yeah.
It started
Marvel.
with it started with the comic books, and now it just sort of like carried on to the movies, because obviously you have the Marvel movies and then you have the DC movies.
Exactly.
And it's hard for someone who just like generally loves superhero movies to not compare the two.
Now,
because
does it hurt to say the M word?
I don't mind.
Okay.
I don't mind. You know, like
Yeah.
it's not so much like the Bloods and Crips sort of thing. But it's just that they're basically the same side of a coin.
Okay.
Yeah, it's essentially the same.
Same realm, right?
Yeah, it's the same realm.
Okay. Now, so you said you loved it. What were some little points that you would be like, "Oh, I wish they would have done this," or because I'm sure you have a couple. And now, what are some things you wish they would have changed a little bit?
I think what Zack Snyder's vision is that he has a certain type of cinematography that some people like, some people don't like, and you can tell if you have seen some of his movies, which is Sucker Punch, 300, A Watchmen.
I saw a lot of 300 in this.
Yes,
big time,
because like it's very iconic when you see the Amazon scenes.
Yep,
it's just like the FEMA version of 300.
So that yes, and spoiler alert, and during the movie they involved Zeus and his son too.
Yeah.
So I mean, and that was already going into the Greek stuff, Greek mythology, 300 and all that. So, yeah, definitely, definitely got to get a whole lot of that in there. Definitely,
and I think another thing that I personally that took me out of it, which I thought I was gonna enjoy, is actually a lot of the slow motion. There was some very, very good slow motion moments with like the Flash in particular.
Amazing.
But then there are some slow motion that felt unnecessary.
Okay.
And for me, that took me out of it, but I still enjoyed the movie like tremendously.
You're able to look past it because you liked it so much.
Right.
Yes. Yes. So no, 100%. There were a few things too that I mean, essentially. So right out the bat too, and again, the whole from right this point on, spoiler alert as fuck. Spoiler as fuck.
Spoilers.
So, as you know, I like Marvel. I like Marvel. I like look at fucking Thanos and shit right there. I'm a big Marvel fan. I loved Infinity War to death. To death. Again. Now, Endgame, and have you seen Endgame?
I've seen,
okay, you've seen Endgame.
Seen
the Shortness herself is the punk rock attitude, all that, yeah. So, Endgame, I liked it, but the only thing I didn't like about it was the time travel business. That's if you watch Rick and Morty, Rick doesn't respect, time travel and all that. I'm kind of the same way in that aspect. I hate it, and I'm like, ugh.
It can be very tricky.
It can be very tricky.
It can be very tricky whenever you deal with timeline, because I mean, the only one that I could think of as a lot of people talk to that has like a good timeline movie is probably Back to the Future.
That's everybody's number one.
Like,
Back to the Future rules. Yeah.
But the reason why it's so hard to deal with, because you have to deal with continuity.
100%. But to me, a lot of times, except Back to the Future, because the whole thing was based off, like, you go in there thinking this is a time travel movie, right? So you know what the fuck you're getting into. With now with Endgame. And just a lot of things in general, when you use time travel to fix stuff, I almost feel like it's a cop-out.
Right.
That's just in my mindset. And again, that's why Endgame I had issues with. This one too, now look at, there's no, obviously it's a movie, obviously none of it's real or whatever, but, and the Flash. The Flash is a very key component in this movie. He's a very big factor in this. Now, runs super fast, we all know that. So again, this has all been spoiler alert, all that. So towards the end, so the deed happens already, the damage gets done. Now the Flash can fix it by running as fucking fast as possible, so goddamn fast that he actually moves time back, right? And that's how he kind of saves the day in this. Again, this is just my perspective. Being that I'm not huge on the time travel stuff and the going back in time, I was like, I wish they wouldn't have done it like that. I wish it would have been a different way. Again, that's just me. That was one of the tidbits I had with it. Now, again, that's just some people love time travel stuff. So
I can see why it does seem like a cop-out. Again, speaking from the comic book side, there's been a couple of stories where Flash himself, the Flashpoint story arc that he does, which is essentially, they use some of the elements of that where the world gets fucked up, gets torn to shreds, and it's up to Flash to basically reverse time. So his abilities, just to quickly go over it, is just the fact that he has the ability to use a speed force to cut through the space-time continuum. So that's why he's able to reverse it and essentially run into different timelines. And that's also something very common in the DC comic books and the Marvel comic books, is the writers will use this sort of like excuse to have different timelines to basically allow themselves to rewrite different stories, change up some stuff. But in this particular movie, that was one of the methods that they use. That when the mother boxes gets fused and you get a snippet of motherfucking Darkseid himself, and the whole world gets destroyed. But Flash himself, because he's able to tap into the speed force, he's able to like witness it very slowly. And by doing that, he's able to like beat the destruction and run backwards in time.
100%. You did a great job explaining that. Now the only thing with that, and even we mentioned Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty gets they get, I guess you could say, dinged sometimes because they call Rick that he gets in God mode. That Rick can just fix anything, right? So in this sense, yes, that's what the Flash did. That to me is just a regular guy, regular, not balls deep in the comic book universe. Think, oh well, if shit fucks up, the Flash will fix it. He'll go back in time, and I don't want that to be a fallback every single time. You know what I mean?
Right. I think the sort of nerve of Flash is the fact that when that does happen, it's not something he can just tap into right away. It's like a lot of exertion from himself, and it also puts his own life at risk. So that's one of the things that can stop him from always tapping into that, because the Speed Force itself is kind of like like a raw energy that if he goes into it too much, he gets destroyed by it, basically. Okay, and that as me as a viewer again makes me feel a little better, because I don't want it to be where he can do that shit at any time, because then there's never any danger. You know what I mean? You want there to be some danger, because then there's no point in really watching. Right. You want to make it feel like there's something at stake. 100%. 100%. Another thing too that I thought, again, this is way off topic, but what's his name? Cyborg, right? Yeah, Cyborg. So Cyborg, so first off about Cyborg, his football scene that was fucking awesome. I knew you were gonna like that. That was super awesome. I was like, oh, they should have. Why the fuck did they cut this out in the first place? That was awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of things that was cut out of the original cut that now seeing it, you ask yourself like, this is amazing. Like, why the fuck would anyone think that, you know what, let's just cut this out. Let's just cut it out. Whoever cut that out,
fuck you. That was fucking awesome.
Because if you watch the original one, Flash, Cyborg, they had no reason to be there. There was no investment in the character.
And then, yeah.
You know, and in this one, like you care for every single one of them. You, from Batman to Superman to Wonder Woman to freaking Cyborg and Flash, like everyone in there, you care about them. They had a reason to be there. It's just not like, let's push out as much superheroes in one movie as we can. Like it doesn't work. No,
definitely agree on that. But to that Cyborg point, that scene was amazing. I loved it. The cinematography, everything was great. The only thing I didn't like, fast forward, was when the dad, they the Cyborg and the mom crash. The doctor tells the dad, your wife didn't make it. He has no reaction at all. He has zero reaction.
He's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, and then he goes, your son might not either. And he's like, no. So that right away, I was like, all right, well, I was all right, fuck it. I'll look past that, but I was thinking, like, at least be like, damn it, she died. You know what I mean? But I think that's something that maybe no one even thought about. You know what I mean? That wasn't even the focal point. It was about Cyborg, his backstory, which is great. That part, though, I was thinking in my head, I mean, at least sigh that he said your wife died. You know what I mean? But no, it was. I thoroughly enjoyed it. 4 fucking hours long, and usually I don't like movies that long, but I think it was awesome.
I would recommend that if you're gonna watch it with someone who's not a normal moviegoer, definitely like the movie. It's broken into parts.
Yep.
So like have yourself a regulated intermission. For me, I just wanted to speed through all of it, but because we're watching it together, I understand that my investment in it is different from you, so we had to make time to like take breaks and process what just happened.
And not only that too, I think if it was maybe like 3 or 4 of us, probably would have been great. Probably would have been pretty easy. But there was probably about fucking 20 of us, so it's real tough to. People gotta piss, take a shit, get food, and part of us doing that too. So it was tough to get grind it all, but we did. And I'm glad we did too. Now, again, to whoever thought cutting out Darkseid was a good idea, fuck yeah. That's crazy. That was crazy.
Even if they didn't bring back Darkseid, the way that they went back and redid Steppenwolf, phenomenal.
Yeah.
The comparison of the bad guy and his motivation, no comparison.
Because you have investment in it, like you said. Right. At first you're thinking like, okay, he's like the bad guy.
Just a generic bad guy. Like, I want to take over the world. Like, so.
Yeah. So, and what's cool too, I mean, and I'm. Okay, so here's another point. Again, spoilers since I've let everybody know. Jared Leto's in this too.
Yes.
So Jared Leto's in this as
a cameo at the end.
the Joker, and I like that part. People were, they hated on Jared Leto real hard for playing the Joker in Suicide Squad.
Yes. Yeah. To be fair, a lot of the DC movies, for some reason, Warner Brothers doesn't really treat the actors really well. I think Warner Brothers was, and just the whole, like, again, the big suits with a lot of the fans in our position, like, we see through all the, like, smoke and mirrors, like,
all the bullshit.
Yeah, all the bullshit. Yeah. That, what, like, Warner Brothers wants to recreate what Marvel has already did, and they're playing catch up. So to not go on a tangent so much, like they fucked Jared Leto's character in Suicide Squad. Okay, if you don't know about it, they fucked him up because in Suicide Squad there were so many things that were shot that they cut out. So again,
I honestly didn't know that.
Yeah, like they promised him that he was gonna have a bigger role. No, and also what was amazing about the little scene that he had in the Zack Snyder's Justice League is he essentially had like a chance to redo it.
Yeah, because they needed him.
Right.
Yes.
So he sort of had like a redemption, being able to delve into this character again, and I enjoyed it. Some people it's hard because obviously recently, with Joaquin Phoenix's Joker,
killed it.
He killed it.
Killed it. Yeah.
But it's hard to tell someone who, like me myself, I like watching movies. I like a good story, good character development. With Jared Leto, for me personally, I was able to see him for his specific role, and not so much comparing to Joaquin Phoenix. Because I get it, they're both doing the same character, but you have to see them what they're trying to do. It might not be everyone's cup of tea, but Jared Leto essentially still had the same core character he had in Suicide Squad, but less of a caricature of himself, because in Suicide Squad he was kind of silly, he kind of like was over the top, and that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way.
You know, I think too with the Jared Leto thing, we're getting way off topic now, but it's fine. I think
It's your channel.
I think, you know how people like to, it's popular to hate on Nickelback. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's very.
Yeah.
It's the popular thing to do. Oh, you like Nickelback? You suck. I like it too. I fuck it. But I think that became popular, hating on Jared Leto playing Joker.
Mm-hmm.
People just, it became a popular thing. It's like, yes, that movie wasn't specifically about him. Joaquin Phoenix, now again, great actor. He knew going into the Joker movie, that shit's revolved around him.
Right.
You know what I mean? He got to show everything.
And he had a chance to dig deep into, you know, what Joker meant to him.
Yep.
You know, because if you think about all the different Jokers that has ever been into live action, from Jack Nicholson to the very old campy ones, like each different Joker, they're different.
Yep.
You know, they're all very different. So.
Yeah, no, 100%. Back to the Zack Snyder's, Justice League cut. Overall, we both thoroughly enjoyed it. There's, they leave little Easter eggs and stuff like that for future movies.
Yes.
Which, of course, you have to. The next one's gonna be Darkseid's gonna be the antagonist, obviously.
Oh yeah.
In the next movie. But again, why the fuck would you cut that out, bro? You know what I mean? Why the fuck would you cut that out? That makes zero sense. And back to Jared. I'm going a little around here, but back to Jared Leto. You get fucked on Suicide Squad, right?
Right.
So you're Jared Leto. You got fucked on. You got fucked. Suicide Squad. Now it's like, hey, you're gonna be in Justice League. All right, this is my chance. Fuck it. I'm gonna. You know what? They fucked me, but now they're giving me a chance. This is gonna be a huge movie. All the characters will be combined. Oh, hey, we cut your part, by the way. What the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, what if they didn't release this?
Exactly.
It's crazy.
And you wouldn't even know until like you go to the screening. Like you're excited, and then it's like, I was barely in the movie. Spent a whole freaking year doing a bunch of these shoots, and I'm not even in the movie.
Yeah, it's nuts. Now towards the end, they're in this weird little realm where it's basically Batman. It's
it was Batman, Mira from Aquaman, Deathstroke, Flash, Cyborg, and the Joker.
Yeah, so kind of a weird misfit type group. Now Deathstroke, the only thing I was confused about, so I wanted to wait till we're on this to ask. So Deathstroke looked like he was working with what's his name?
Lex Luthor.
Lex Luthor, and then now I guess he ended up working with Batman. So how did he cross from bad to good?
So we had to build a little bit of context to make that make sense for people who don't really understand that character, like the regular moviegoers.
Yes.
So the first thing is Deathstroke himself is sort of considered like an anti-hero. If you want any good comparison to like make sense, comparing to Deadpool, they're basically like the same character. Deadpool,
now you're speaking my language.
Right.
Yeah.
So Deadpool was a mercenary. The merc with the mouth is one of his nicknames. Now Deathstroke is the more like serious character version of him. So they have Deathstroke has his own issue with Batman and the Bat Family and just the Teen Titans, all that. Now what they did with at the end, which is the nightmare scenario, is what they call it. That's essentially what I got out of it. Was Zack Snyder wanted to take some elements from the Injustice story from the video games.
Oh.
So, in that one, to simply put, Superman lost it. Something pushed him over, and now he is going ballistic on everybody. In the video game, he became an overlord. In this one, I think they're gonna make him.
I totally forgot about that. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, go ahead.
So with this one, I think they're gonna show that Darkseid was able to sort of like manipulate Superman to be on his side, because in the halfway through, right before they revived Superman, Cyborg had like a premonition.
Yes, real quick though, before I fucking forget, that black suit, that's the best superhero suit in the world, I think.
Oh yeah.
That black Superman suit is insane.
Yeah.
Love that shit. Repping this shit. Anyways, continue.
Yeah, so that scene with Cyborg, he essentially gets a premonition warning of what would happen if they revived Superman. But at that point, it was too late.
Yeah.
They basically set a ripple effect of what's to happen. So at that point, all the key superheroes that could possibly stop Superman, they're gone. They're either dead or they turn to the dark side. Pun intended.
Yeah, no, good. Yeah, good explanation. And then that scenario, because I told you after the movie, I'm like, all right, I don't know what the fuck's going on anymore. Because everybody seems happy and all that, and then they fast forward to that, and it is a nightmare situation. It's just Batman and the Misfits, and then they talk about Lois Lane died. They talk about Aquaman dying
dead,
too.
yeah.
I didn't see Wonder Woman. Did she die too?
They alluded to that, yes.
Okay,
because there was a scene where like she was being cremated through with.
Oh, that's right.
Amazons.
That's right. Yeah. Yes. So I mean, essentially, your strongest people, for quote unquote,
the only thing that can put Superman in check.
Yes.
Kind of.
Yeah, for the most part, and then so right there you're thinking, oh, they're fucked, right? So yes, it's setting up for an interesting next movie, because you bet your ass there'll be a next movie. There's going to be a next movie.
I'm going to say I'm really 30-40 on that. Oh,
okay.
Sorry, 30-70. I'm bad at math. 30-70.
Not all Asians are good at math. It's fine.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, and then the only reason I'm going to think a little bit about it and agree, also now that I think about it, is because a lot of those fools said they're not going to return, right?
Right, because if you think about contractually, the characters are owned by DC, which is owned by Warner Brothers, which is owned by AT&T. So if you think about it, you would have to bring them back, even if the fans are able to have such a huge viewership on HBO Max, and it does make them a lot of money.
Yep.
It's hard to bring in people back, because Ben Affleck, from what I remember, he was done.
He said it 100%.
He was done.
Yeah.
Henry Cavill, he's shooting The Witcher.
Yeah.
You know, and
yeah.
Gal Gadot, maybe. Aquaman, Jason Momoa, maybe. Like some of the like other characters, maybe. But I'm not too confident, because Warner Brothers and the big suits, they still have their dick in it. So I mean, even if like they're like, okay, cool, the fans finally get what they want, but then it's such a huge project, and the fact of the matter is, I read somewhere that Zack Snyder says that, you know what, whatever happens, this is his project. We're not going to consider it canon.
Oh.
So who knows what's going to happen, you know? Because there's a hashtag that went out when the movie was released.
Yeah.
That it was called Restore the Snyder'Verse.
Oh,
so
okay.
Maybe it will work, maybe it won't, because this whole project was like 3 years in the making.
Okay.
So many people, the big suits, like, it doesn't exist. The fans are like delusional. This doesn't exist, and it finally happened. So I'm not even sure if like maybe the sequel might happen.
So this is 100% for sure. Anybody can watch it, but this was for the hardcores.
Hardcore fans.
This is for the hardcores.
I would say, yeah. I would definitely say for the hardcore fans. Casual viewers, you probably have to like pace yourself.
100%, and even we'll go back real quick to the casuals. This is a lot longer than I thought it was going to be, but it's a lot of good information. I think, and I told you this too, the casual viewer that watches this, they're going to say, "Oh, that's kind of like Endgame. Oh, isn't that like a Thanos wannabe?" I can hear that. I can hear that 100%. 100%. I can hear that.
That was going on while we were watching.
Well, we were watching, exactly, yeah. So, and again, and for the casuals that are thinking like, "Oh yeah, I did. That's what the fuck I thought." You're a casual, bro. I'm kind of a casual, but at least I have, you know, people like you and everybody else to kind of get me in and, oh yeah. But even then, before then, I remember cartoons when I was a kid. I remember Darkseid and Thanos were different guys. But just watching it, if you're a kid or even, like I said, a casual viewer, even like the fight sequences, you're thinking, oh, it's kind of like Endgame. Like, oh, I want to be. It's not that. I just want to get that out of the way too. That's not what it is. They're separate. They're different. No. But, you know, people want to hate on... Because it's easy to hate on DC, too, with some of the movies.
Right.
Some of the ones that want to bash them, the Marvel dick riders, they're going to be like, oh, they're fucking trying to... You know what I mean? This was good, though. I thoroughly enjoyed... I enjoyed Man of Steel a lot, and I really enjoyed this. I think this was really good.
This was really, really good.
Oh, great. So, real quick, too, the last point at the end, you talked about, you know, the big suits. So, at the end of the day, those fools want to keep making money. Right. Let's say this barely came out. What is it? 18 hours ago, right?
Yes.
Something like that. So this just came out. Let's say that the numbers come out on Sunday or Monday, and it says, "Oh, that shit blew everything else out of the water." Let's say it did ridiculous in the viewership. Let's say it killed it. Those fools are obviously going to want to entice the actors to do it again. Oh yeah. But let's pretend the actors are like, "Nah, fuck that. I'm done." Henry Cavill's like, "I want to be the Witcher from now on. Fuck that. I'm done with that shit." Right. And another thing too, I don't want anyone else to be Superman. That fool's Superman to me.
It's hard because the last time anyone was Superman, I forgot what his name was, but
exactly.
Like Henry Cavill has right. So Henry Cavill has such a hold on his like idea of Superman, like his chiseled chin, his body, and
take it easy, but yeah. Yeah,
what can I say?
Like I said, I don't want to see anyone else play Superman. If he's not playing it, I'm out. If he's not playing Superman, I'm out. But back to that point, the big suits. Let's say the actors say Affleck too is like, fuck your movie. I don't want to do that shit anymore. I guarantee they're gonna want to put other people in the parts. Now, if that does happen, I think it's gonna bomb big time.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Because I think they'll force it because they want to make money and all that. It's a superhero movie. But I think if they do that, and maybe, you know, if you agree, I think that would bomb, like, tremendously.
I think that the suits are in a... Warner Brothers, everybody in the suits are in a very difficult position because...
Yeah.
Like, Zack Snyder as a director, the actors themselves, especially the ones with the big pull, Ben Affleck being one of them, with, like, how they are and they're just their influence. I think it's hard to push for a sequel. That's just my personal opinion. Yeah. I would love it if they continued it.
Don't get it. Don't get it twisted. Yeah.
But I just have a hard time seeing it like being a sequel.
And I hate to agree to that, but that's probably true. Being all the knowledge I know about it now. Thank you for that. Any last points about the movie?
Martian Manhunter.
Oh, I forgot about that. This
is the first live action that I've seen. I know that they did a little bit of it in the Smallville TV show.
Yep.
But on like the big screen,
it was tight.
Wow.
But again, why the fuck would you cut that out? Why would you cut that part out? I want to talk to whoever decided to cut all that out and be like, what is wrong with you, bro? You don't like money or what? What the fuck's wrong with you? But yeah, that was awesome. Even his ending scene was awesome too.
Yeah, it was really nice.
And then I didn't even know he could be essentially equivalent to Superman's power, right?
Yes, and a lot of the different comic iterations, he is arguably just as strong as Superman.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But that's also badass. But it's also like, why would you leave him out? It seems like there was so much shit in it for the hardcores that I think maybe the director thought, oh, you know what? They're not gonna understand this. Just take all of it out. Let's make it a basic movie.
Right.
Just bad guy beat bad guy, and then or good guys beat bad guy, and that's it. So, anyway, stupid move though. Definitely stupid move. Glad they released this 100%.
Oh yeah. If it were to me, I wish it would have been longer.
Jesus.
That's just me though.
Jesus. Okay. 4 hours is a lot to get through. I liked it. I don't know when I'll ever see it again. Matter of fact, real quick, shout out Teddy, one of my good buddies. He took the day off of work. I talked to him today. He took the day off of work and he saw it twice. He saw the movie twice. Yeah. So shout out Teddy. Good shit. I don't know why he did that, but he's a big fan. He said he loved it. Told me he loved it.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Hey, but you know what? That's great. Appreciate having you on, man. We'll talk some nerd shit again because I thoroughly enjoy it. Fuck it. Yeah, Asian J here.